Hey guys, Dr. Noah, Dr. Mike, Dr. Wanda Lee. I think all three of us can say we're self-proclaimed uh, self-help, self-betterment course takers. We've taken countless courses, each of us, some similar courses, some different. It's a just a constant rhythm um, that we do yearly on a yearly basis for the last 20 years or so. And one of the courses that we all took, all three of us, Mike and Wanderley took the live version, I took the online version, is Lifebook, created by John Butcher and Missy Butcher. It's an incredible program. Dr. Mike has had the fortune to interview John at least twice, maybe three times for the podcast. The most recent one was released a couple Mondays ago. We highly recommend you listen to it. But if there is one singular course with its biggest bang for your buck, it may very well be the Life Book online. Um, Mike, you talked to John several times. Um, I listened to the audio. I'm sure a lot of people listening to the live stream listened to it. It was incredible. He is so down to earth, but he has created something so special in Lifebook.
That interview actually airs June 8th on our Beyond Your Wildest Dreams podcast, so you can grab it there. Yeah, John is super low key and chill, and it was the first time I got to interview John and Missy together, which they play off remarkably well together. But the get to the gist of what Lifebook is, it is a discovery into self where you look at 12 categories, and it is amazing. When I first took it in was it 2007 that he spoke at Homecoming, and then I think it was 2007. I don't think it was 2008. I think it was 13 years ago. But it was the first time I had looked at this. I've been setting goals since I was 18 years old. But it was really, it had no form to it. And it was the first time that I was able to look at 12 different categories in my life. And the way he broke it down, which really hit home for me, I'm just going to read off how he set it up. You have to look at your premise, which is what you believe. And then you look at your vision as to what you aspire to. And then your purpose is to how to make that vision manifest. And last, and most important is, what is the strategy that is going to be involved in getting all this together? So for me at that time and going forward, it was able to really help me define how I go about living my life. And to this day, 13 years later, I still look at Lifebook and make changes to it. It's a living, breathing document. Every twice a year or four times a year.
I think mine's on my shelf. That's why I was looking around. I was going to grab it. It's a huge binder.
Yeah.
I think it must be upstairs right now because it doesn't seem to be on my shelf right in my office. And that's, I mean, like Noah said, we've all done a lot of personal exploration and personal development and goal setting and business mod, like personal business. I like best the places where you can integrate your life together. And, there's, Lifebook would be top three for me. I mean, John DeMartini's Breakthrough Experience, Tony Robbins' Date with Destiny, and Lifebook are the three top, I would say, experiences to really look at things in a different way, in a deeper way, in a more personal way, and reintegrate those things together. A lot of programs out there are wonderful, but they just focus on one area. They might just be your business, or they might just be your finances, or it might just be your relationships. It may just be your parenting, but this is putting all of that in one package. And that's the piece that's missing from so many other programs. and the thing that really makes Lifebook stand out in how you're creating a full life and not just a piece of it. And seeing how those things interplay, because there is, you can set all these brilliant goals for your business at the sacrifice of other areas of life when you don't look at them together. Seeing them together allows you to create that balance where every part has its place and its priority. So that was my experience with Lifebook.
Noah, you took it online. How long ago was that?
Yeah. So let me just first say everybody's talking about the 12 areas in Lifebook that you go over are health and fitness, intellectual, character, emotional, spiritual, love, relationship, parenting, social, career, financial, quality of life, and life vision. So those are the 12 areas. And you could, like Wandalee said, you could see how I can't think of another aspect of life outside of those 12. I was the first person or first group of people to take the online version. It was offered at, again, one of the homecomings. It's got to be 7, 8 years ago. And like you guys, I still have mine. Mine is on the computer. It's a very easily upgradable, changeable document with pictures. But I agree with both Wandalee and Mike. The difference that sets Lifebook apart, as opposed to including it being so comprehensive, is that there's strategy involved. That was kind of like the issue with The Secret, is like, if you just think of everything, it's going to come, but you really got to put action to
it.
it.
You hit
And
the
that
nail.
strategy component is the second thing that I think that really sets it apart.
You hit the nail on the head. It is the strategy involved, and The Secret was brilliant in that it got you to think about manifesting what your desire was, but it didn't take it to the next step and look at the strategy that you needed to get there. And this is where you're writing down and you actually get to see where you're going. And let's face it, sometimes some things change. So I can set a goal at the beginning of the year, and one of the things that we did as a group was write our 5-year objectives or goals, and sometimes those change. But I forget who said it, but the object in reaching the goal is not to reach it, but it's who you become on your journey to get to that objective. And I think that having been exposed to Lifebook and then continue to go back through it, I just think it's really important that we share with you guys the impact that's had on our lives. My wife was the first in the first class to go. I thought it was so important. She actually went first, and I went in the second group back when they did it in person. So super, super important.
I did it in person too. My husband and I went together, which has its pros and cons, but certainly is interesting as an experience together. And not to make this entire chat just a conversation about or an advertisement for Lifebook, although we would all endorse it 150% and think everybody probably should do that. But the key really is taking the time to examine your life, where you really are and where you really want to go, and finding that path between. Otherwise, you're just floating along, getting buffered by the wind this way or that way. And if there's one lesson I think this whole COVID experience has kind of hammered home for a lot of people is, a chance to stop and take a look at where your life really is and what really is important to you, and where you really want to be. In any or all of those areas of life. And so if you're one of those people who had that revelation that, gee, I need to make change, or I want to reconsider where my life is, there's lots of tools out there, and this is one of them. For sure.
Yeah, so I would say there's 2 great BYWG resources for Lifebook. One would be on the YouTube channel. right, Mike?
Yeah.
There's an older interview with John talking
Yep.
about Lifebook that has like 60% or something of our entire YouTube channel views. And then the podcast that Dr. Mike is doing with John and Missy on June 8th. We think that they're worthwhile listen to. It's definitely a worthwhile hour of your time for sure to investigate your life. And Lifebook does it in a way like very few things can and do.
And the funny thing is, during that interview, we talk about relationships, and John takes out his life book. I mean, this is the original life book, and starts to go through the relationship part of it. And it was amazing to see. And he gives you the backstory, which we all enjoy. And he goes through his aspects of the relationship, his premise, his vision, his purpose, and the strategy. And it was really neat in interviewing them how his thinking and the process evolved. We highly recommend you take a look at that. And there is a free masterclass if you click on any
I
of the
think
links. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Noah.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to finish off saying, that there's a free master class that you can listen to that will help you learn even more about it.
Absolutely. Cool.
All right, guys. Well, have a great day, guys. Check this all out and be awesome and never unawesome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.